Hi, Tals. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. It's a little bit colder in New Zealand. I'm sure it's a bit warmer in Oz.
I'm not jealous, that's for sure. It's okay.
Oh, well, Tali, I'm always so grateful that we kind of connected over the House Style Emporium and that we can be like besties even though we live, an ocean apart. And yeah, you're someone who really inspires me. And so I just wanted to take some time and some of your time, which I'm really grateful for today, just to ask you a few questions about your journey and what it's been like for you. I know, people have lots of different stories and reasons for coming into a business like this, but one thing that is quite common is that people often watch from the sidelines for a little while before they dive into something like this. And so I don't know if that was your story, but I'd love to hear it more, and maybe anyone who is watching and has been watching either of us from the sidelines, maybe this is just a chance for them to get some clarity around some of the ins and outs of doing business online. So take it away. I'd love to hear your story again.
No worries. So I've been doing this business now for 4 years, which still blows my mind. Where did that time go? But I was working as a chiropractic assistant when I stumbled across this business, and I actually loved my job. I really enjoyed what I did. I loved working with people. It was in the holistic health space. I got along really well with the lady that was my boss at the time. But I don't think I was looking for something in particular. I definitely wasn't that person that watched from the sidelines for a little bit. I stumbled across it on my social media, just like you connected with the person that introduced you to this business, and I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I want a piece of this. I don't know what this is, but I was on my own health and wellness journey at the time. I was really intrigued by preventative medicine, and I was starting to kind of go down that path. So it popped up on my socials. I asked questions. I was that girl that was just super eager and probably super naive. I had no idea what this business structure was or really what it was. I mean, I was 21 at the time, so I don't even think I knew who I was. I jumped straight in, but I think looking back now and reflecting, I had no money, and probably at the time I wouldn't admit that. I don't think I'd ever saved more than $1,500. I think the last time I did that before this business was when I was 17 and my mum was in charge of my accounts. So I had no money. I was super young. I was on my own mental health journey. I definitely had a couple of challenges over the years, and I like reflecting back now, I definitely think it's because I wasn't living in alignment with who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I think we all need to get lost in order to try and find ourselves again. So this business came along at a really beautiful time in my life. Like I said, I wasn't necessarily looking, but I was definitely open to new things that crossed my path. And 4 years on, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. It's been a massive personal development journey. Like, there's so many things about this business that I could share with you guys today, but I'll try and keep it short. The things that I guess it's allowed me to do is obviously have that second income. So it's been huge for me. I've been able to contribute. It's savings. I think it's so empowering as a woman to really understand and learn about financial literacy. So that's something I'm really passionate about, and hopefully we can touch on that today, Rose. And then secondly, being surrounded by a community of women that not only challenge you, but they uplift you. I think everyday life, people are so caught up in their own troubles and challenges that we get caught in that reel and we just end up going through the motions. So for me, this business has just been incredible in regards to the community. And then my third thing, this is my last thing, but the amount of women that we're able to help, right? I think there's an emotional revenue that is spoken about quite a lot, and we get to help women with their health, with their wealth, and help them create a life that is in alignment with them. So I could talk about it for ages, but that's kind of what it's done for me. And 4 years down the track, I've been able to drop down to part-time hours. So I now live on the sunny Gold Coast, and I work as a chiropractic assistant again. I really love this field, but I think, like I mentioned before, it's really smart for women to have multiple streams of income, passion projects, so that they can start to set themselves up for the future. So I'm excited for what's to come.
I love that. And I love a couple of the points, particularly that you mentioned there, Tals. One being the community of women. And I think it sounds a little bit cheesy and a little bit cliche, you know, sometimes it gets thrown around a wee bit, but I think with great reason. I remember I've always been a little bit of an introvert and kind of liked my own company, and yeah, I remember coming across this and just within a few days just being like, wow, I never actually realized how much I was missing a community of empowering women in my life. Like, it's so powerful.
It's powerful.
And yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And the other thing I love that you mentioned was, you know, the smart second income. I think it's actually really scary for people to only have one income. I think that must just be, it must be a bit scary and uncertain, especially at this time, in these times. Yeah.
And so many women, there was something that was thrown around when all of this happened at the start of the year with CBOM. I won't give it any energy. But they were saying that most people in America have no more than, I don't know, what was it, 4 or 6 weeks savings behind them.
It's like $1,000 or something. Like,
yeah,
it's
unbelievable. Low. And you know what? 4 years ago, that was me. So, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I've been there as well. Yeah.
But what about you, Rose? I would love to hear your story. We've obviously been working together for the last 3 years, and just to build Rose up for a moment, she's amazing. We've gotten to know each other pretty well, and we are at different phases of our lives. I mean, I very much look up to you in regards to a mother. I think you taught me a lot and maybe showed me how I want to raise my children when I decide to have a family. But why did you say yes to this? Like, why are you here?
Yeah. Look, I was looking for something. I was an early childhood teacher, working full time. I had a little 2-year-old at the time when I came across this business. I was pregnant. My husband and I we were in the throes of building a traditional business, starting that up, and I had a lot on my plate and really no room for anything else. But what I knew is that I didn't want to be teaching until I was 65. And I'd seen, you know, over the years, just parents coming in and just dropping their kids off and going off to jobs that they openly said they didn't enjoy. And yeah, and then obviously I went back to work and put my little boy in daycare and went off and taught other people's children. And it didn't feel great. And I just knew that there had to be a better way. And I didn't know what that was going to look like. As I said, I was open and I've tried a few different things. I'd say I have a little bit of an entrepreneurial heart, which I think a lot of people do, actually more people than would actually give themselves credit for. And yeah, I stumbled across a friend who was talking about this work from home thing she was doing around her kids. And I thought, like, that sounds really cool, like exactly what I want to be doing. But I think, yeah, I was very skeptical, and I thought it sounded a little bit too good to be true, actually. And so I thought, I'll just watch for a little while. And so I did.
People do that.
Oh, yeah, I know. And I think, yeah, we have to be wise about what we get ourselves into these days, right? For sure, there are some things, you know, maybe some things out there that aren't so genuine. And so, yeah, I can totally resonate with people who sit on the sidelines for a while before they get involved. But yeah, I just came to a point where it was like, well, I've got nothing to lose here, and if nothing changes, nothing changes. Forever, one of my favorite quotes. And yeah, and jumped in, and same as you, like, just one of the very best things I've ever done. And I'm a totally different person to who I was 3 years ago. Just had my 3-year anniversary. Just the skills and the knowledge and the community and just everything. It's stuff that doesn't only serve you in this business, but it serves you in life, and all the other different areas of life.
Yeah, so, I love that. Even confidence, like, I definitely agree with what you said. Obviously, this business, you grow personally and professionally. Like, it's helped my partner and I become and connect more and communicate more clearly. Like, it's just, you can't even put into words what this does for you, not just professionally. So
yeah. And so tell us, like, how important would you say it is for people to be looking at side hustles and second incomes, especially in this day and age?
Yeah, well, obviously I'm still a baby. I'm a little fish in a big sea, but I think it's so incredibly smart for women. Like, what is it? 1 in 2 marriages end in divorce. And we obviously want to go into everything with a positive mindset, but the amount of women that rely on their partners to support them, it's pretty scary. And most women, it's like 70% of women have less money to survive, like once they retire. Like most women just don't have enough money to retire, whereas men do. And it's because we have children, we're not in work for as long as we are to earn that super up, and a lot of people aren't looking into ways to create passive income. So I think it's nearly 2021 and people are learning about not just trading time for money, they're actually learning about how to create a passive and residual income. And honestly, like, I think it's so incredibly smart, and I'm so grateful that I came across this business when I did, because like I said in what I shared with you before, there's no way I'd be able to contribute and do what we want to do over the next couple of years if I didn't have this behind me. So I think it's very smart.
What you said about that the statistic of 1 in 2 marriages ending in divorce, and another statistic, and it actually comes from the same person who wrote the book I think you're talking about, and that's Rich Woman by Kim Kiyosaki. Yeah. She also says that $500, an extra $500 a month could save a marriage, keep a marriage together.
Definitely.
Like that's powerful, because it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money.
But, not even.
Yeah. And what I love about what we do, tells us that like that amount of money, it's so achievable right from the first month that you start something like this. And so that's why I'm really passionate about sharing it, because I know what $200, $300, $500, what the impact that can actually have on women.
Definitely. And even like, I think so many women think, I don't know about you, but I had a really beautiful upbringing, but one thing I remember is there was this saying that people always used to say, and it was, you get what you get and you don't get upset. And you know, that's just reminding us to be grateful. Like there was a good meaning behind it, but I think subconsciously it's conditioned us to just be okay with what we've got, and it's not okay to want more. So I think, I'm sure you can relate to this, but I think a lot of us put ourselves into a box subconsciously and think, like, who am I to want more than this? Like, this is just life. Like, you work, you pay the bills. This is just what it is. But absolutely not. Like, we have so much abundance around us. And I think that's the beautiful thing about this community. It reminds you that you don't have to settle for mediocre. So I
hear a lot of people saying, well, I'm lucky I've got a job. But yeah, it's just, there's so, like you said, there's so much more abundance out there. And if you're walking around the supermarket with a calculator, money's controlling you. Like, as black and white as that is, and as blunt and maybe as hard to hear for some people as that is, I think a lot of people have, and I definitely am working very hard on my own money mindset. They have mindsets where, if you want more money, you're greedy, or, I mean, that's one thing that I was kind of brought up around. But actually, I think money controls you more when you're lacking it.
Definitely. And even touching on the topic of money, it's like, we don't want more money to do, like, to buy materialistic things. It's like, if we were to get really real, you need money, and money gives you the flexibility to say yes to more things and no to more things. Like, you've just got more of a choice. So
that's right, time is money.
Yeah, literally. I wanted to pick your brain, Rose. I know that you're obviously a busy mum, and you guys have still got traditional business. So, and you're working part-time at the moment, is that right?
Yeah.
How did you juggle this? Like, I don't have kids yet and life feels full. I mean, I still do this business and I fit it in, but how do you cope?
Yeah. And actually, that's one of the questions I get asked a lot, Tals. It's like, hey, look, this looks really cool, but life's so full. I'm so busy, I don't think I could fit it in. And that was definitely something that was on my mind when I came across it as well. Like, I don't have a lot of room left on my plate. But what I found, what I was really grateful to the girl who introduced me to this for showing me, was that I could really fit it into the stolen moments of my day. So, it was 15 minutes on my lunch break, and then another maybe half an hour or so when the kids were in bed. Some days when, life is less full, I can spend a couple of hours. Other days, I'm really lucky if I can fit in half an hour. But it's just the beauty of a business like this. You can fire yourself and rehire yourself the next day, and it's really about doing it on your own terms. It's your own your own business. You don't have anyone cracking a whip, telling you when you go to the toilet, telling you when you can take annual leave. It's very much go at your own pace, and that was really attractive to me, especially as a new mum, and someone who had a full life. And I've seen there's people in our business who they study full-time and they work full-time and they have kids and they homeschool their kids, and so it's very much something that can kind of fit around a busy life.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I think we should probably wrap that up, Tal. So it's been so lovely to chat with you. I could talk to you all night, honestly. And we'll have to do this again because I think there's a lot to cover. But again, I just want to say how grateful I am to you, and all your guidance and your mentorship. And I think that's another beautiful thing about the Health Style Emporium and network marketing is just the support and women just wanting to see each other succeed.
Yeah, definitely. And it's always a pleasure working with you. And that's the beautiful thing about this business. Like, I've got some beautiful friends back home, but this business has given me that extra friendship and community I needed. So I love you.
Yeah, love you too. Thanks for your time, Talia.
Thank you so much. Bye.